that was sent to these people, and it's horrifying, isn't it, when you consider...
It is. I mean, they came here, most of them as children, at the bequest of the then, was it a colony, asking colonies, the UK, for it to come and work, to build the country post-war. Many arriving on family passports, and have their own passports, Max. And now, 50, 60 years later, being told, actually, you can't stay here, you don't have the right paperwork, and in fact, you might be deported, which is what we're already hearing. In terms of the numbers, we know roughly about 50,000 people could be affected by the new rules. But this comes as a shock to so many people who for so long had considered themselves British. Take a look.
Korea sees the arrival of more than 400 happy Jamaicans.
They were the first group of immigrants to arrive in the UK at the request of the British government, and they came to help rebuild the country post-war. This was June 22nd, 1948.
Where do you come from?
Jamaica.
Have you brought your children with you?
Yes.
How many?
5 children.
Over the next 20 plus years, 500,000 Commonwealth citizens built British lives, worked British jobs, and paid British taxes, beginning an era of multiculturalism in Great Britain. Anthony Bryan was one of them. He came here from Jamaica in 1965 when he was just 8 years of age. Recently, he's been detained twice in an immigration removal centre.
Every time I go down, it's like, they're going to hold me today. Am I going to be locked up somewhere and have to follow my missus again? It's just a nightmare.
Like Anthony, many of the Windrush generation are now living with the threat of deportation. This after the British government recently tightened its migration rules, leaving many scrambling for documents and paperwork to prove they are here legally.
Some have been shut out of the system, which means they're denied the right to work, access to government services, including free healthcare that they have contributed to. Some have been detained and some are still in detention, and others have been deported to countries that are no longer their home.
It's an injustice that has David Lammy seething, not just as a British Member of Parliament, but also as a proud son of a Windrush migrant.
We need a proper apology. We need a very, very clear amnesty today for all of those people. People who paid for lawyers need to be reimbursed and compensated for their loss. And we need to understand how many people have been deported, how many people have been detained, how many people have been denied access to the NHS in the United Kingdom that fall into this category.
Well, it really is a complete mess, isn't it? What sort of response has the government come up with?
It is a shambles, and I haven't heard anyone say otherwise, you know, any positive thing coming out of this. The government yesterday, you know, for the last couple of days have been rather quiet on this. We heard yesterday from Amber Rudd. She apologised in Parliament. She also said she's setting up a new task force to try to deal with this, that we're going to waive the fees when it comes to trying to sort out all the paperwork and documentation. Just take a listen to what she had to say when she spoke to Parliament yesterday.
I recognise the concern from some people in the Windrush generation, and I wouldn't want anyone who has made their life in the UK to feel unwelcome or be in any doubt of their right to remain here. As my right honourable friend the Prime Minister has already made clear, there is absolutely no question about their right to remain, and I am very sorry for any confusion or anxiety felt.
So sorry for confusion and anxiety, but for so many people who can't get benefits, who can't get an operation on the NHS and the health service here, that's just too little too late. The Cabinet Minister, Office Minister today, David Lidington, said this morning, when asked how many people had been deported, he actually couldn't answer it, Max. And so many people will be scratching their heads saying, how is it possible that the Home Office does not know how many people have been deported?
Another issue for Theresa May as well to deal with, because before being Prime Minister, she ran the Home Office. She was in Amber Rudd's position.
The legislation changed, the rules changed, immigration rules changed while she was in office, while she was the Home Office. So a lot of attention on her. She is meeting, I know from the Barbados High Commissioner, she's meeting the Commonwealth Ministers later this morning. So we'll see what she has to say. I'm in contact with quite a few of them, but they are, as you can imagine, like David Lammy, seething.
Yeah, whilst this Commonwealth Heads of State meeting is taking place in London, not ideal for her. We want to know what you think about all of this. Is Britain shamed by the treatment of the Windrush immigrants? Log on to facebook.com/CNN International to have your say. CNN Talk, 12 p.m. in London, 7 p.m. in Hong Kong.